Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is actually going to be another book haul. Y'all, I know I just recently posted one, and I normally don't buy this many books in succession, but I've just been finding really good deals, and also we've needed some of them for homeschool, and I've wanted to read some of them for my own Mother Academia track that I'm doing. If you want to learn more about that, I just posted a video about that. I'll leave it linked up above, but I gotta share them with you guys. I love books, and I know if you probably watch my channel, you're a big fan of books as well. So let's dive in. I found them from Amazon. They were running a buy one, get one deal that they do often, which I didn't realize they did that often, but I now know. So I got some great books from Amazon on sale. I also got some great books on sale from Living Book Press. And actually, by the way, I'm so excited to announce that I have become an affiliate of Living Book Press. I love their stuff. They were kind enough to give me a 10% off code. I'll leave it right here. It's MaryB10. Use that at checkout. You'll get 10% off any order. So go ahead and use that to get some extra savings in there. They're reasonably priced books, great quality, but that extra 10% off always helps us out in the homeschool universe. And then I also got some books off Thriftbooks.com. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to start with my Amazon books and then move on down. I've got a whole couple piles here. Okay, so first from Amazon, and I'll link everything down below for y'all that I can. I got 3 books, and again, it was part of the BOGO deal. However, I still got 50% off the third one, so I don't know how that happened, but I think they just kind of like average it between all the books. So it was basically buy 2 or more and you get an X amount of percent off. I'm not sure how it shook out. I could probably go back and look at my invoice, but I just haven't yet. And so the 3 that I got were actually for me, for my Mother Academia, my learning that I'm doing. And they're all classics, and I'm really excited about these guys. Okay, the first one I'm just so excited about because it's a book that I loved growing up. I read it, I think in high school was the first time, and the cover on this is just beautiful. It's a hardback, and just, you guys, I got Pride and Prejudice. Look at that. How pretty is it? And then on the back, it's one of the most quotes from the book. It's, "You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you." It's what Mr. Darcy says. Ugh, love it. Just how pretty is that? The coloring. This is gonna look so good on my bookshelf, but I'm also excited to reread it as part of my learning. The next one I got was from Penguin Classics, and it's Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. I actually have never read this, so I'm very excited to read it. It sounds like a wonderful story. Lots of excitement. So I'll let you guys know what I think of it. I'll do some updates on my Mother Academia. I'll probably create a whole series on it, videos, and create a playlist on that. So once I get to this, I'll keep you guys posted on what I think. This one I thought had a really cool cover. And again, I read it back in high school, haven't read it since. The Great Gatsby. How neat is that? I just love it. So it's like I think it was set in the Roaring 20s, and it's that style that back then, the gold filigree, all that stuff, but it's really nice quality paper, everything. So I am very excited to be reading this again. Okay, next up, I'm gonna share with you the books that I got from Living Book Press. They were running a 20% off discount. They do that, I think, a couple times a year. I think they did it last summer. Or not last summer, this past summer, at the beginning of the summer, I think. I don't know, I haven't learned their schedule yet. I will always post in the community section of YouTube if they are running a deal. I did post about this. I think it is over now. I think it was only until November 5th. So unfortunately you can't get 20% off, but again, you can use my code and get at least 10% off. And some of these I got were soft cover. They also have the option for hard cover, but their soft cover are just such great quality. I don't think we're gonna have any problems with longevity of use because I'm going to use these through 2 kids, and also a lot of the books for Amblesite Online you use over a period of time, so they need to kind of last through a couple of years, but I'm not worried about that. They're really strong quality. I like the soft cover version. I might try hardcover one here in the future. But then I also got a few ebooks, which then I actually printed off and created my own booklets from, which saved me a little money, but I only did that for ones that we'd maybe use just for a year. If I'm going to use it for more than 1 year, I want it to be in there for the long haul, and I want it to be strong and good quality and last. So I'll stop rambling. Let's get into it. So some of these books are for next year. Some of them are for this year that we're using. The reason I got some of them for next year is because it was 20% off. And also if you spend $35 or more, you get free shipping. So I added a few on to get that free shipping, but also I knew we'd use them next year. So why not get them now? So the first one is for next year, and it is part of Ambleside Online Year 2's curriculum, which my oldest will be doing next year. And it's The Little Duke, and it's actually about the Duke of Normandy, but as a child, it's supposed to be a really good read, so I'm kind of excited about this. Not only for my kid, but for me too. I also just love the covers and everything. And these are generally free domain books that need to be reprinted, and I like, there was actually some illustrations in here. I like the fact that a lot of books, unfortunately, if you go to a bad publishing company, if they're older, they will just leave it this tiny print and it's like taking up this much of the page and you can't read it. At Living Book Press, so far what I found is that they actually expand it and make it legible and are able to be read easily. So I really appreciate that from them, because as I get older, my eyes are not liking tiny print. The next is also for my oldest daughter for next year for Ambleside Online Year 2 schedule, and it is The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood. Again, these covers are so cool. I don't know if I've actually read the original Robin Hood. I saw like Robin Hood Men in Tights. I saw I saw a couple of versions, like the cartoon one, but I don't think I've ever read the book. And this one comes with illustrations as well. They include those, which I appreciate. Just so well done, so well printed. But yeah, I'm excited about this one because I've never actually read it either. Next up is one we are reading right now, and we have been reading, but I've been reading the free version on my iPad, and with all the read alouds that I do, the iPad is really starting to hurt my eyes, and I can't almost like follow the line of the sentence to the next one. It hurts so much. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to read this again for my youngest next year because it's part of the Year 1 Ambleside Online curriculum. So my youngest and I will go back through this again. I'm getting the printed copy. Also, it's got a lot of great stories in it. My oldest daughter is really loving this, and she asked if we could get the physical copy so that she could just read it on her own. So I thought that was like adorable. So of course I went ahead and got it. And it's the Blue Fairy book. And something else I want to mention I didn't realize until today is they actually have, so the free version online does not include the illustrations. This has the illustrations in it. So I create these little bookmarks through Canva. And sorry, I'm trying to get rid of the glare, but it says, the Blue Fairy book, Ambleside Online, Year 1, and then I kind of write the schedule of what we read in what week and what term. I'm sorry about that glare, y'all. But for example, we just finished reading Cinderella, or also known as The Little Glass Slipper, and it has illustrations in it, and the online free version didn't have that. So my daughter was so excited to have these now, because we've been reading the online version before this term. So I'm glad I went ahead and purchased it, and I think we'll be loving it outside of homeschool. So I definitely think it was worth purchasing. Next, I got Parables from Nature, which is, it's actually, I think, over the first 3 years of Ambleside Online schedule. So Year 1, Year 2, and Year 3, you read this book. It's about good morals, good character, and it's all through stories in nature. So it's anthropomorphic, I think, from my understanding. So animals talk, things like that. My girls love that. I know some kids love it, some kids hate it. My girls like it. So I know this will be probably well received by both of my girls. But I'll be starting that this term, actually. Tomorrow we read our first one with my oldest daughter, and then my youngest, when she starts Year 1 next year, she'll start reading these as well. All right, next up are books. Actually, some of these I talked about, I think, in my Term 1 update. I shared them with you guys, but these books I actually decided to purchase the ebook, and then I printed out myself, and I'll explain why. So the first one is Viking Tales. So this is one that I got this as a freebie. So this is something really cool that Living Book Press does. Every month they will offer a few books for free. Only the ebook, sorry, not like the actual physical book. They will offer the ebook for free. And I snagged this last month in October, I think is when it was a freebie. And this is needed for Term 3 of Year 1 Ambleside Online. And we're only gonna read through it the one time with my youngest daughter next year. My oldest is skipping this. She might sit in next year on the tales. But I figured I got it for free. I can't read it on the iPad. I need to print this out. So I figured out how to make my own little booklets, but even like ebook wise, look how great that is. And that came out so well. Now, granted, I have an EcoTank printer, which I think is a fantastic printer. So I think that obviously is part of it, but the file is good quality. So as long as you've got a great printer, you can print them off and there you go. Next, same situation. We're only going to be doing it. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. We are reading this with my oldest daughter, but I had printed it off before I decided to include my oldest daughter. So it's 50 famous stories retold, and it's just really good stories that every kid should know about because it's not pop culture, but there's a lot of references in our current culture, past culture. These are older stories that people reference when they do pop culture type references. And so they're people that you should know about. In Greek life, there's Julius Caesar in here, there's Robin Hood in here, Sir Walter Raleigh, Pocahontas is in here. I haven't read that one, so I don't know if it's like the true version or, John Smith's version. Still a good story to know though. And so many people that we just refer back to in modern day culture. So I decided, because we did kind of throw year one Ambleside Online onto our plate kind of last minute with my oldest. I was like, I'm not going to do this. So I just printed off for my youngest daughter who will be doing year one next year. Then I realized these are kind of really good stories that my oldest should read, and they take but 2 seconds to read. So we did add this in for my daughter. If I had known that ahead of time, I probably would have purchased the physical copy, but this is totally fine. Like, this is going to last me 2 years. It'll be a-okay. Next, I got 5 Little Peppers and How They Grew. This is a free read for year 2 Ambleside Online. I've heard wonderful things about this story, so I decided this is definitely one of the free reads we're going to be doing. I just printed it off because, again, it just made the most sense. For my oldest daughter, she'll be reading it, and we may or may not read it with my youngest daughter, depending on if my oldest liked it. So I just went ahead and printed it off just to save some money. There was no rhyme or reason why I printed this one off versus another. And then the last 2 I'm just going to do together because they're by the same author, the Burgess books. So we've got the Animal Burgess book and the Bird Burgess book. Again, just to save some money, and we read them just in year 1 and year 2, and then, we move on. I still think the way that I printed these off, I laminated the front and the back. We use really strong spines, the Pro Click spines. I think these still will last us a really long time. So if the girls really like them, they can still read them on their own later date when, if they're able to read this, which I think they will. These are really cute stories and they're easily read and digestible. So kind of excited about those. Also, I have the Blossom and Root Level 0 language arts. Or is it language arts or is it nature study? I have the whole bundle for level 0 Blossom and Root, which is a Charlotte Mason inspired curriculum, and she provides in her PDF copies beautiful pictures of animals that go along with the Burgess animal book. So I'm either going to print those off or show them on my iPad when I'm reading the story that correlates to the animal. These are real life photos that are just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to pair that with this just to give the book some context because they don't have any illustrations in these versions. Okay, last but not least, I only got 3 books from Thriftbooks. I didn't go wild. 2 of these are for me and one of them is for my daughter for next year. I just snagged it. It's again a price that I hadn't seen it at and in good quality, so I went ahead and scooped it up. That's again, if you don't plan ahead for your curriculum, you really should because it allows you to shop deals for your books over the year before the school year starts, right? I'm shopping for next year because I can. I have the time. I can watch prices and just scoop it up at the best price that I finally see it at. So first off, this is also part of my Mother Academia track. Listen, y'all, I have never read Tolstoy. I heard that Tolstoy's books are very long. I did not really realize how long they are. Look at how thick that is. Look at my head. That's a thick book. So I got Anna Karenina. I think this sounds like such a great story. If you've read it, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments, but this is a beefy read. Holy schmoly. So, but I am really excited about it. It's got a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of, I don't know, it just sounded like a very exciting story. So I'm excited to do that one. That's again for my classical literature track that I'm doing. Next, this is for my academic track, like learning about education. I went ahead and got For the Children's Sake. I decided to do this because before Charlotte Mason's volumes were printed out for everybody to read and buy, what really turned a lot of people on to Charlotte Mason was this book, For the Children's Sake, because I think only volume 1 had been printed when this first came out. And she talked all about Charlotte Mason and the method. And apparently it's a must read if you do Charlotte Mason. So I'm really excited about this one because apparently it is a really solid read. Last but not least, and again, this is one I never read as a child, but apparently it is a must read. So I'm kind of excited to read it as well. We also have this on audiobook. So this might be one that I flip back and forth and just let my daughter read along with, because it is for the year 2 Ambleside Online schedule, is The Wind in the Willows. And again, it's for next year. It was a steal. So I snagged it when I saw it so cheaply priced on thriftbooks.com. All right, all, I hope you enjoyed that. If you love watching book hauls and you're new to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. If you did like the video, definitely leave it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.